Hi everyone, and welcome to this little color and chat. I'm coloring in the Jewelery Box today by Hannah Karlzon. And when I first got her books, I tackled almost every single phase that was in it. And now I'm so scared to do one. And I just didn't want that feeling anymore, so I decided to jump in. But I've made it myself a bit harder than usual because I've grabbed the Luminance pencils to work on this skin, and I don't know the right color combos yet for Luminance skin. Sammy was so sweet to send me the one she's using, but yeah, sometimes I love to have those notes as a backup, and I want to try my own things first. So maybe that sounds weird, but yeah, well, sometimes I learn more by experimenting. I hope it's a bit visible what I'm doing because I have my daylight lamp on. I've mapped out some shadows already before I started using the burnt ochre 10%. I've used the sepia 10% for mapping out her nose and doing some shading on her eyes. Yeah, and which colors that I will be using the further I get, I don't know yet. I think I will also use, I have it lying here, brown ochre 10%. Because I think there are a lot of Luminance pencils having a bit of a grayish tone, and those two are more yeah, a bit skin toned, pale skin toned, that is. I don't even dare to think to do a darker skin with the Luminances. I still have to learn a lot about them. So, but they lay down very nice on this paper. And yeah, I'm really hoping that my fear of doing a Hannah face will be tackled by doing this picture. Normally I start with the background, but I think for this one I have to focus on the face and the color of the birds and decide on a simple background later on, because if I go too wild from the beginning, then I think I have a problem with my colors, because yeah, I don't know for sure which colors. I was thinking about some reds, but will I be combining multiple reds, or will I combine it with some yellows also? I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to color here also a little bit to mark this shadow a bit from the gemstone or the jewel. Okay, I'm going to grab that sepia color again if I can find it. Is it this one? No. Here it is. Whoops, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. So Going to add a little bit extra shadow. I didn't want to use a darker color for shadowing. For starters, maybe I can do that later on, but for now this is more than shadow enough. And I must say that a few days ago I've watched a video by Morgane Colopassion. She's a French colorist. She does very nice colorings, and she did a video on her top and flop coloring books, and she wasn't a fan of the newest Hannah Karlzon book because of the weird noses. And I can understand what she's saying, because I thought she had a weird nose too. I really had to do the Chris Chang nose by mapping out a little circle here, and I'm still doing something wrong here on the side, I think, especially here. But yeah, I will see how it goes when I will blend everything. But okay, I'm liking her look so far, so I hope it will stay that way. I'm going to do that sepia color here also, besides that jewel. And I hope, if this is going to be a success, or if I'm happy with the result, that I will be more or less afraid to do other faces by Hannah. Then I want to grab Soulmates, her latest one, more, and because I really like all the portraits that are in, even if they have strange noses. I'm going to check. I'm 8 minutes in, that's quite okay. I'm going to darken the side of her eyes a bit. And I did give her a bit of cheekbones, but I don't want to exaggerate with those either. I'm not used on giving my portrait people skin tone, cheekbones. I must do some tutorials on them, I think. I'm into tutorials at the moment, but for this one I want to try out my own things. just to be sure that if my coloring turns out like I want it to, that I know that I can do it myself without a guidance. Okay. I'm thinking, shall I do her lips first to give her yeah, sorry for my sudden disappearance on talking, but I'm thinking, I think I will do her lips. I always do the eyes first when doing a portrait, because those empty eyes, that was my pencil sharpener by the way, those empty eyes are not my cup of tea. I prefer a portrait looking at me when I color it in. And if you do the lips, it's becoming something completely different also. And I'm a very careful colorist when it comes to lips. I don't do crazy things like trying to create real stripes like Hannah has drawn them. I'm feeling too insecure about that. I'm just going here in lighty. Going to make this a bit smaller. I like how she's looking. Yeah. I'm going to take a look if I have some darker color that I can use, not only my sepia, to darken these corners a little bit. I'm going to take a look if I can find it, because I still don't know how my colors are arranged in my pencil case. And I'm just going to add a little bit darkness extra in the corners. Also use it as an extra shadow. Yeah. I'm going to blend this. I'm sorry if you can hear noises. Our neighbors are making noise. Don't know what they are doing. Okay, and now for a scary part, I'm going to use the white pencil just to make it a bit lighter and softer. Okay, I love how she's looking. Now I will continue with her face. I was using the burnt ochre and now I need the brown ochre, and that's lying here. I still have a feeling I need much more brownish tones, but I'm going to add a bit more just regular skin tone before adding extra shadows. What on earth are they doing? I hope I'm coloring in her cheeks a bit okay, because I'm not used to giving cheekbones, so I hope my light is a bit well thought of. But I still think I like how she's turning out. Okay, now, I have a violet gray I'm seeing. That's the one right here. I always use a kind of a violet for shadows, but I'm afraid, and I forgot to do the shadow with the sepia on that part of her eye, or that part of her face, on that side. So I'm using that sepia color. Okay, and now with the violet gray, I'm going to use it as an extra shadow creator. If you hear some ticking noise, that's my little birdie reacting to the daylight lamp. I'm going to add some shadows in the corners here. I'm not sure if I will be coloring in the birds also with the luminances. Maybe I'll use another brand of pencil. I'm going to darken the bottom of her eye a bit. Okay. Now I'm just going to look if I have some kind of brown that's not too hard and that's not too green, because the raw umber here is quite green. Oh, and I have a new lovely swatch book. This is for my colored pencils. So I did have an old swatch book, but I'm doing the pencils again in this one. So these are the Holbeins. And these are the Luminance. And after the Luminance, I will be swatching out the Pablos. And then I also have one for my wet media. I already had a swatch book with wet media, but I just couldn't resist buying this one. Look how cute. So super lovely. So this one will be holding my wet media. So back to the swatch book again. These are the poppy colors. Maybe I do the castle card. That's following the sepia, so that should be this one. Yes, Castle Earth. I think I've written it wrong. I really think that the names of the luminance pencils are super hard to see. And that's a nice brown. But I'm definitely not going to exaggerate with this one. And talking about luminance, I have one pencil. I think it's one of the umbers. I think it's the raw umber. It's so super scratchy. And I've sharpened it already, but it still was very scratchy. Now for such an expensive pencil, that's really a pity. I really hope that when sharpening some more, my problem will be resolved, but and that wasn't the only color that had a trouble with the scratchy part. I'm feeling it in this one also a little bit, but not that much than on that light umber one. If you have ever experienced that scratchiness, have you been able to solve it, or is it something that we have to accept? Okay, this color is perfect for mapping out some extra. So please, if you have experienced that scratchiness and if you have found a solution or an experience that helps to to not be able to use it in a normal way. Leave it in the comments below. But that was a bit disappointing, I must say. Maybe it will have to do something with the process of making these pencils. Maybe they are as they are because of some sharper pigments, or I don't know, but okay. Adding some extra shadow beneath her nose. The feeling I have to do something here too, but I don't want to give her a mustache. But her lips need to be lifted a little bit, I think. I'm going to leave it like it is because, okay, she's looking very pale, but yet I'm going to grab the buff titanium and try to blend already, and then I will try some extra color with blush, the pinkish color. And the mapping out of the nose stays quite visible, so I hope it won't disturb too much, but I think it's fairly okay. Have to give quite a lot of pressure, in my opinion. But maybe I'm using them wrong. Have I put down my layers too thick? And did I had to do it in less pressure? But so far I quite like her. I don't think that she is looking weird. Okay. I think I like her. Now, for her blush, maybe I'm going to think I'm just grabbing the Caran d'Ache blender to see if I can smooth some extra details, but I don't think I can. Oh, a little bit, not much, but I can a little bit. Okay. Which color of blush can I use? The only one that I think it's suitable is this one. It has a really long name. It's hardly readable, so I've called it Anthra Pink, but it's Anthraquinoop Pink or something like that. So I'm going to use that as a blush. And I'm definitely not heavy-handed, but ooh, it gives me a lot of pigment. So I hope I can blend it in. And I want some here too. And whilst adding this, I think she's more looking like a he. How strange. Like a bit of a drag queen. But beautiful drag queen. I'm fairly pleased with what I've achieved. It's only, I think, the third time that I use Luminance for skin. The first two times was on a very small picture. One was by Forest Girl and the second one was in Flora. And this is the third one. And now I always like to give my characters a blushy nose, like they have been walking in the cold. So I'm going to grab that buff titanium, and I feel a sneeze coming up. I'm sorry. Sometimes they're even more quick than that's not looking the best. Going to add some more because she has some stripes now. Or maybe I should use the pink. Where's my pink? It's lying here. My white, I mean. Okay, that's a bit better. It's not perfect, but oh, I'm going to use this one to give her nose a border again. And then I will merge this with the buff titanium. I will have to add some pink here too, because you also have some reddish nostrils when you have a cold nose. She's looking a bit like a Slavic beauty due to that crown and her hair besides her face to keep it warm. So I think this rose nose is quite suitable. Now I'm going to blend in that blush here. I really think that I'm using them in a wrong way. It will take me some time to get to know them, but that's the case with every pencil. But I think for a third try, I definitely can't complain. I think I quite like how she turned out, a bit pale, but that's okay. If I practice some more with these pencils, and I can use a darker skin tone too, because I love to do dark skin tones. And I'm not happy with that little mustache that I've given her. So I hope I can erase this a little bit. Yeah, okay. I feel that I should make her eyes a bit darker to give them some makeup, some eyeshadow. Okay. I'm not used to wear a lot of eyeshadow myself. I do from time to time, but it's mostly in very light beige or but I think that is quite okay. Okay, I think I'm going to leave her like she is now. Just going to add, I'm just grabbing, what is this? A French gray to shadowing a bit in her corners of her eye. This is also a beautiful color to map out some areas. And she doesn't have straight cheekbones. This one is higher than this one. So her face is a bit out of proportion. Can I add some extra here? She's looking quite skinny. Okay. Now I'm going to leave her like she is. I hope you've liked this video. I'm going to take a look at how she would look without. Maybe I can erase them. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It gives her a bit more character, but she's looking quite skinny. So I'm not sure. I will decide later on. Thank you very much for joining me on my adventure in Luminance land. I'm not sure if I will continue to film the rest of the picture, because it was just me talking about my fear of doing a face, and especially when I want to use new pencils. But so far I think I'm fairly happy with how she turned out. So, and I still have to think about the colors that I will be using that are surrounding her. I'm seeing a lot of oranges and reds, so I will have to decide later on. Thank you very much for watching. If she's getting finished, you will definitely see her pop up in my finished pages video for the month of August. And I wish you all happy coloring, and until the next time, take care. Bye bye.